see myself as a leader because, first of all, like, I'm a very positive person, and I just don't think about myself. I think about others too. So being a leader is like helping each other, motivating each other, having each other's back, and that's how I see myself being a leader. Because I love helping people. I love being there for people. I just don't. If I see something, instead of saying go do it, I say let's do it, because it's about teamwork, it's about dream work. So if I know something, I'm good at something, instead of me just thinking about myself that, oh, I'm gonna do this for myself, I'm gonna help others to get some knowledge, to learn from me, and to help each other, and then we're just gonna go together. Leadership at the sport I play, soccer is like a sport. So us athletes, you gotta be like ready physically and mentally. So everyone is different. There's some people who are different, and then when they're down, they don't know like how to express themselves. So me as a leader, when I see like one of my friends make a mistake, one of my friends is down, I be there for them. I motivate them. I be like, you make a mistake. That's life. Everyone makes mistakes, but you just gotta get up and work on it. When I found out that the season got canceled, I felt good because everything happened for a reason. So we never know. Probably like if we had a season, with the pandemic is going on, we never know. We probably look like we was gonna have a season, and then some of our teammates was gonna get the COVID, and then probably go back home and give it to the parent. So I just don't think about me, I think about other people too. So when they found out the season got canceled, I felt good. I just was like, I'm just gonna keep working. Probably next year I'm gonna come back stronger than that. And I didn't even react. I got upset because the past summer I didn't even work. All I was doing was just playing soccer. I was getting ready for the season, and the last minute, you find out the season is canceled. It's kind of sad, but that's how life is, man. Everything happened for a reason. You just gotta be prepared. So I was just prepared, and then instead of me giving up, I'm working stronger than that. I'm going 110%. You just gotta keep working. Hopefully next year, everything come back normal. We're gonna have a season and enjoy. And then next year is gonna be my last year too of playing soccer in college. So I hope, we have a season next year so I can, go crazy, do what I gotta do. So I wasn't really sad. I was kind of, low-key upset, but I felt good. So
it was tough, right? As a whole, I felt kind of lost. It was brutal for our seniors, obviously, brutal for the whole program. But at the end of the day, as hard as that decision was, I feel like it was the right decision to make. Again, wish we could turn back the hands of time and not have that have to make that decision. But looking back, I understand why it was made, and guys are resilient. They find a way to bounce back, and certainly the guys who graduated last year. Some guys are doing their 5th year and playing collegiate baseball at another school. At the end of the day, though, overall the program has bounced back. But it was tough, that's for sure. Yeah, so this season is definitely a different look. It's kind of, we all have to, when you said adapt, it's something that truly, a concept we truly have to get used to. Things change on a regular basis. For me, it was a little frustrating in the beginning because I'm such a structured guy, to not, for all the unknowns that this virus has shown us. But for me, again, guys are getting at it. Guys are happy. We're on our 3rd week, our 4th week of practice. So we found a way, and I'm very grateful to the college and the MASCAC as a whole to give us this opportunity. But man, you have to adapt every day to the things that are thrown at you. And I think we've done a good job. Yeah, so the hardest adjustment for me, again, going back to what I talked about earlier, is the fact that I'm so structured. I like to plan things out well in advance, and you just can't do that. things change. Like I said, things change on the fly. So adjustments are needed. It's definitely taken on a different monster for us this year by far. But at the end of the day, I got to believe it makes you a better person, and learning new life lessons every year. So certainly this has been the adjustment piece has been huge for me. Yeah, so staying sharp this year in a world of uncertainty. Once we got started, we've been pretty much on the same path we've always done as a program, getting ready for our season. Certainly, minus the trips that we try and take, before we start conference play. Where we weren't able to do that this year. But staying sharp, we brought a new hitting coach on this year who's really done a tremendous job with our guys, getting extra work. So I think we're sharper this year, and the guys are much more grateful for the opportunity they have. And they understand, we don't have any time to stay idle, and they've done a great job, preparing for this season.
So obviously, when COVID last year was really kicking in, no one understood the full magnitude of what was going on. So the canceling of the season felt kind of abrupt. Obviously, the players and myself, I think as a collective, were certainly taken back and weren't necessarily prepared for things to end as abruptly and as quickly as they did. And I think at the time it left us feeling like we were kind of shortchanged, like we didn't necessarily, we weren't prepared, I think, as a team or as myself as a coach. And I think we were kind of left with an empty feeling, like that all of a sudden things were just taken away from us, and with no end in sight. So I think it was kind of a difficult and frustrating period when it first happened. So in terms of adapting, now that we've obviously been in COVID for a while, is really, we weren't necessarily sure what was going to go on. So obviously being under the pandemic constraints for almost a year now, and then starting up again, some of the things that we've kind of learned to adapt with are timing, understanding that the players need to get tested weekly. The hardest adjustment was returning back at the beginning of the semester, still not knowing at all what was going to happen. I think the hardest adjustment as a coach is when you prepare for a season, you take certain steps from year to year in terms of game planning, in terms of scouting, in terms of looking at your overall roster and how those student athletes, what responsibilities they'll take on your team. And really the adjustments were numerous. One is adjusting to the fact that we lost students from last semester to this semester because of COVID and other reasons. So that was an adjustment. Realizing that we weren't going to start at the normal time when we usually would. So that was an adjustment period, seeing that I had to wait before we could really start. Also adjusting to my expectations as a coach, understanding that if we were going to have some type of season, it wasn't going to look like a normal season at all. So really adjusting my goal setting as a coach to make it more about if and when we have a season, to make sure that it's basically it revolves more around the players and the ability to be able to play the game, as opposed to normally looking and focusing more on the wins and losses and those type of things, and just making sure the adjustment is that the players themselves are getting some type of quality experience out of this season.